Iberia, ravaged by the bloody tides of war, kings and sultans, dukes and emirs. Adversity makes for strange bedfellows, my friend. And you must read carefully if you are to decide the fate of Iberia.
The Duchy of Barcelona has finally been united under its rightful family. One of the most successful military campaigns under the leadership under the late Commander Paul and my nephew Count Burrell stopped my rivals' armies at every single battle, and their bravery could never be repaid. As for the future of my realm, while I am preparing my two younger sons for service in a holy order in the clergy, cannot help but have a strong desire to keep them close to me, well, close to their family. It is selfish, I know, but it's family that's kept me sane. My sister Antha has been essential to the realm, and I desire that closeness for my sons and daughters. Perhaps I can change succession laws to ensure land is given on my death, but without my younger sons breaking off, as it happened to me and my brother Radis. As for conquests, my hope to take all of Saracusta seems to be in vain. Amidst the Iberian struggle and the era of consolation, peace between wars has been extended, and it will be 7 years before I can push deeper into Saracusta. 7 years of peace is not terrible, but I fear stagnation will overcome it. However, my courtiers have let me know that the island of Sardinia is terribly weakened, yet quite wealthy. Do I dare push myself deeper into the Mediterranean to exert my influence further? Patience, it's key, and I must find the right time to strike. Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to Crusader Kings 3 in our roleplay series with Duke Guifré The Second of Barcelona. First and foremost, as always, thank you incredibly much for your support. And one of the best ways that you can do to support this channel is to give it a like, sub to the channel, turn on bell notifications, and leave your comments. Your comments have driven this entire narrative, and it's a very, very cool experience because it's not something I've ever done before. There's this creeping sensation that this may be the last episode for Duke Guifré II. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to leave you with that little cliffhanger because whether it does or not, I don't even know. But I hope you guys will enjoy it anyways. I don't really have much to say aside from an incredible thank you for your support, and you know all the typical things to do. So it's time to put our gameplay face on. Let's dig back into Duke Guifré II's perhaps final chapter, but regardless, the next chapter in his life. It's family that matters most. It's family that I would like to keep close as well. And to be quite frank, I have no idea what my sons will do when I ask them to join the Holy Order and when I ask them to join the clergy. It's entirely possible that they'll refuse, and that's understandable. So I think I do. I think I have to change my succession laws. Under Confederate partition, titles will be made for any children where secession isn't quote-unquote fair. That's understandable, I suppose. But high partition ensures that my heir gets the lion's share. But the key picture here is no new titles will be made. And because I finally wooed Count Radofradis, my nephew and my vassal, I can change the law for a mere 500 prestige. There we go. Just like that, succession laws are changed. There's a key difference here. They inherit and will split everything, which means that my heir, Guifré de Barcelona, will receive the Duchy of Barcelona as well as a few counties. But Kristofer, I love him dearly, but he would get the Duchy of Mallorca. which means he would be independent because he shares the same title as Guifré de Barcelona, my heir. Napoleo, he's not a worry. He just receives a couple of counties. In order to ensure a complete peaceful transfer of power, I have to destroy the title of the Duchy of Mallorca. This is extremely unfortunate because it does cost me a lot of prestige, of which I don't have a ton of already. But we can now see that only counties will be given to my second and third sons, which is exactly what the peaceful transfer of power will entail. Now, I've sent my bishop to go fabricate a claim for the county of Alto, Aragon. It is part of what we have to conquer for the actual Duchy of Saracusta. Now, fortunately for me, Navarra is just, it's non-existent. The Kingdom of Navarra is a joke. I wish I could subjugate him. I wish that was possible, but no, he is technically a king. But Emir Aziz, he owns the rest of what I need for Saracusta, which is nice. At least no one else owns it outside of the Kingdom of Navarra. So when my sons eventually take over, it's at least down to, you know, just having to worry about him. I wish I could do something about this man, but it appears that he has a very strong court. Killing him is not physically possible, and it would take more years than I care to devote to it. The only thing we've got really going for us is swaying Pope Martinus II, so that way we can steadily and readily apply funds to the war effort. Although mercenaries are now incredibly expensive, we'll have to rely on our holy orders again, which isn't a bad thing. However, as I mentioned, my courtiers tell me Sardinia is ripe for the taking, and indeed it is. This is a very, very rich island, which currently is owned by Archon Mateo of Sardinia, who is again a rather small empire. We would easily be able to conquer him. Everything else might be a little bit of a battle. Overall, the kingdom is in a pretty steady place. We're making a decent amount of gold. The peace will last for, as I said, 7 years. So we can't even go to war with Emir Aziz again. Maybe a small war for the Kingdom of Navarra. But outside of that, we do kind of just have to relax and hope that our kingdom does not stagnate. My daughter, Ximena de Barcelona, has come of age. She's a true silver tongue. She could always sway the opinion of counts and kings alike. Lord knows she's convinced me of things I thought I would never do. When she speaks, the court listens in enraptured silence. Grey Eminence, a great deal of diplomacy. Well done, daughter. Of course, that now means that she can marry. Now, she is obviously not the first daughter, and as much as I would like to keep her in my court, I really need a very strong alliance. The Sheikdom of Kurtuba, I think, would be one such alliance. 3,000 soldiers I would be able to call in any sort of war. Now, 31 is a bit of a weird difference. But you know what? Let's do this instead. For a little bit lower, a little bit fewer, we can find someone closer to her age, which I think would be important. The Taifa Batalyas. He's 10 years old. Would give us a very strong alliance. Ooh, couldn't do that. That's okay. He is an emir, though, and I think that is important. And the alliance is formed, so in 6 years, they will be able to unite in holy matrimony and continue their lives together. Not too shabby. Sometimes you don't ever notice the changing of titles. Sometimes it doesn't matter. But when I woke up one morning and saw that Barel de Barcelona was no longer in my court, it was a little bit concerning. It appears that the County of Mallorca has a new title owner. Count Radolf Radis of Menorca has taken over the County of Mallorca from Barel de Barcelona, which means that he is unlanded and technically can no longer belong in my court. That is unfortunate, but the man is wounded and he's a drunkard. Not exactly someone I want. Now the thing is, we have no one who is suitable for this role. 10 is not great. But I do believe we still have some unmarried courtiers. And someone may be able to bring in someone of pretty daggum great martial. Let's see what we can't dig for. I married off one of my courtiers to Fernando. This is interesting and indeed quite unique because Fernando is not Christian. He is our first Ashari. It is a sect of Islam. He is Basque though. He is a relevant character without a doubt. But his martial is outstanding and something that I just cannot live without. I needed him. It's quite simple to convince. We kept the matrilineal line, so he will stay in our court. Everything's pretty darn well off. It'll be interesting to see how Fernando, my new marshal, will handle being amidst Catholics only. I've been looking forward to this day for a very, very long time, ever since he was born, actually. Guifré III of Barcelona has come of age. He has shown great aptitude, both in battle tactics and management of armies. He will make a fine commander one day. Skilled tactician, martial +6. They do grow up fast, don't they? And of course, his twin, Judith. Displaying a thorough understanding of the flow of gold and the wanderings of people, she even expresses a remarkable creativity in dealing with these matters. My wife, Duchess Iniguin, her contributions towards Judith's education cannot go unmentioned. Her lessons have given Judith the valuable knowledge for the future of her life. Indeed, she is quite the fortune builder. We know what this means. My heir is unmarried. We need to find him a suitable missus. And I do believe we've found her. Arengard de Barth is quite robust. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a equal level person to marry to. We have to marry down. So Guifré de Barcelona III will receive a penalty of 100 prestige. We've been here before though, and we've come out on top. As a Catholic French woman, of course, we are still dealing with the French up north, but it's not necessarily in a bad way. And being a genius and being robust, we are starting to form a house of warriors. Hopefully, my grandsons from this line will indeed grow to be strong to deal with whatever future the Iberian struggle has to do for us. But Judith, she also needs a husband. And after receiving countless letters and honestly sending out countless letters, Herbert, that's it, that's the name, Herbert. He is a courtier of Count Gerold. And after sending out countless letters, receiving countless letters and audiences for the hand of my wife, of my daughter, Frula Lubez Walidid. He's a Maz Arab Castilian, so he's within our realm of influence. His genius trait has ensured that the genius trait will get inherited. Matrilineal, so she stays within our court, as does Frula. who could be useful under really any circumstance should any of my other council members come in. He's possessed though, so maybe this won't last too terribly long. Perhaps long enough just to get a couple of children who are geniuses themselves. Something we'll have to deal with, but I think overall we'll be okay. One acceptance, and another acceptance. My heir now has a wife, and I'm very excited. Both of my twins. We only have a couple more children. We have two, Kristofer and Napoleo, who we will see. Can I do this now? I cannot. He is a child. Let's hold off for a few more years and see if we can't sway Kristofer and Napoleo to join their relative clergies to make things a lot simpler. But regardless, we've taken care of the succession laws if they haven't. If they don't accept. Claims have been fabricated, money has been stored up, and our troops are at the largest that they've been in forever. King Garcia the Second, the crownless of Navarra, he's not doing well. He's not doing well at all. He's rakish, great pox, he's a lunatic. He doesn't have much at his disposal. Our claims have been set. 142 soldiers against potential of 9,000. I don't even know if we're going to raise our levies. We may just raise our knights and our... Well, no. We need to conquer the castle. Let's get to it. I have to say, in all my years, I've never seen this happen before. Passing through my court, I noticed an unrecognized face approach me. My most sensible liege, I am Lop, former courtier of your nephew, Count Radus Wolfus. Count Radolf Radus. He asked me to present myself before you, partake in your court. He's also given me a letter of introduction that only you may read. Then he hands me an enclosed letter. After breaking the seal, the letter simply reads, Dear Guifré, please assassinate the bearer of this letter, Radolf Radus. We could poison him, in which he would be killed, but we get the secret. Not something I want to deal with. Disregard the letter and accept Lop into your court. He is a remarkably unremarkable figure. Not something I care to want in my court. So in an act of generosity, Lop, you've been marked for dead. Flee while you can. And Radus is tricked into thinking that Lop is dead. That works for everybody. I am completely satisfied with that outcome. The first battle, quite the success, but what we can do is lay siege. 15 months? Yeah, I think I can wait it out. It appears Wolfgang von Falkenstein is no longer my bodyguard. He served my father and he has served me quite well. We need to replace this immediately. Pancratius, you're 57, you probably won't last too terribly long, but I also do need a personal champion. And it seems that Promale, who is my bodyguard and my knight, is going to take up that position as well. Protect me, good sirs. Your life depends on it. This is the moment I have been waiting for in a much different way. Kristofer comes of age. He's only developed a basic understanding of the subject of warfare, but at least he's learned the essentials. He's a tough soldier, not a skilled tactician. But more importantly, I now have to ask him if he will take the vows of the Holy Order. It doesn't appear that he will. We can ask him to join. We have enough piety for it. That's not the issue. The issue is, will he accept? Your suggestion for me to uproot my entire life and scurry off some isolated monastery is ludicrous. I'm happy where I am. I have no plans to change that. We lose a little bit of opinion of him. That's not the worst thing. Again, we prepared for this. So we need to find him a suitable wife so he can settle down at home and also join my ranks. And I believe I found someone. Saduna Tahirid. She's pretty. She's very pretty. giving a boost to diplomacy, fertility, and attraction opinion. Now, both of these might get inherited with our recent dynastic legacy. It should become more apparent and more frequent. Now, admittedly, Kristofer loses 200 prestige, but that's his own fault for not deciding to go into a holy order. She will accept, of course, and everything will be pretty hunky-dory for him. And it was accepted. Great! Welcome to the family, Saduna. Hope you enjoy your stay. With the county of Alto, Aragon having been taken, it's honestly probably all that I need, although I will go to the capital. See if there's an army remnant there. It's not large. So hopefully we can conquer it well enough and get this war over with as quickly as possible. It's been much too long, but that's what we had to do with such a huge fortress at our hands. And the army scurries away, no doubt, to come try and take the county back. Let's see if we can't try and catch them. Make this war end much quicker. The fool tried sieging the castle back. That didn't work out so well, did it? Let's see if we can't beat him back to the capital, since we are very much oversupplied. Well supplied compared to him. And again, get this war over with one last time. Perfect. 100% enforce the demands. Greetings, Duke Guifré of Barcelona. May you live in harmony and contentment. You're a much greater foe than I imagined. I will comply with your demands. We will disband all. Jaka is now ours, but I don't want it. It's too far away to deal with. What we need is someone who is a Sharzam and Basque. And wouldn't you believe it? But Fernando, the knight, the marshal, and knight that I just brought into the court. He is unlanded, but he fits perfectly. And the cultural acceptance between Basque and Catalans would increase as well. Popular opinion is great. Hopefully now he has to deal with his own control, which sucks, but I think he'll make it through. Now that war is over with. I think we're going to have to start another one. Admittedly, it is a ways off. The Curadoria of Tortoli is going to be the most profitable area that we could potentially push into. What I'm hoping, though, is Gumbo himself could actually develop an entire claim on the entire island. But we'll have to see about that. Peace has settled over the realm, albeit very temporarily. So we only have 2 years left before we can push our claims again on the Taifa of Saracusta. Will it be enough? I honestly can't say. He's got quite the alliances himself, so we'll have to see. There are a few things better than outliving a rival. At least that's what my father said. And I've come to believe that it is true. When my Gowler brought the joyous news, I could scarce believe it. My rival, Shikulayim, who has been in my dungeons for a while, has finally perished. To think that I will live in a world free from that boar, and to think I was the one who brought about it. I'm so happy that I could simply dance. Oh, this shallow grave. We lose quite a bit of stress, which is fantastic. Gain prestige as well. Now we just need Emir Aziz to follow suit. My final son, Napoleo, has finally come of age, and this is another key moment to see what will happen. His understanding of philosophical and theoretical works is impressive. He often engages debate with his former teacher, even at such a young age. He can be heard quoting obscure passages to support new ideas and theories. He is a mastermind philosopher. But will he take the clergy vow? He would. He would gain the trait monk. This would go a long ways towards impressing Gombo and Pope Martinus II as well. But do I want a man like this beast to leave my court? No. Napoleo, you need to stay right where you are. And I think we found a pretty decent young lady who has yet to come of age. Violent de Châtellerault. She's a guest of Count Alberic. She is comely and intelligent as well. So there is a high chance that his children, my grandchildren, will receive that, and of course she will accept because she is going higher up than what she could possibly ever have imagined. We're the best couple ever. That's quite sweet. You're probably a little naive, but it's cute and adoring. Everyone's at home. We are officially empty nesters. I need to find something to do. And I think that's something to do while we await several things as commissioning an epic. I want to leave something behind, and while I certainly have expanded my father's lands and given a realm to my heir, Guifré III, that is not bad at all. I want to do something more for whenever they are to establish a kingdom. Family history contains many tales of great success and honor, that is no doubt. If all those were composed into a single story, it would remain and certainly reflect well on myself. Are you watching this epic? Are you reading the very epic that I am about to commission? Guess we'll have to see. What I need is a classical tale of grandeur of my family, a chronicle about the origins of Barcelona. I only need someone who knows how to tell a story. This is quite... I think it's fair to say we could go into debt with this. But I think I'll gather some of my best scribes. No. Let's go with Bernadomat. My family epic seems to be progressing well. Some lines already sound like they'll be quoted for decades to come, but he has a lot of questions. Be easier if he wrote it all first, then I could tell him what I dislike about it, but he insists he needs answers now. It's a family history, so absolutely be generous. My sister Antha seems to be the latest person I've read excerpts. Your great-great-grandfather was a fascinating and resourceful figure, she tells me. If we let it be known that you are even half as underhanded as he, people would think twice before acting against you. I would gain 10 dread if the blood of that snake is flowing in my veins. The epic book would increase hostile scheme resistance, and we would gain an intrigue lifestyle experience. Absolutely, why not? It seems as if Gumbo has been reading parts of my new family epic. Of course, he's discovered discrepancies between promises made in the past and our current reality. And until he'll not let it go, surely you can see how wise and benevolent it would be to fulfill your forebear's promise even now. My ancestors were indeed pious, but not necessarily wise. Ximena and Emir Karas can finally marry in holy matrimony, which will secure an alliance. 2,400 soldiers. Absolutely. Welcome to the family, good sir. It has been accepted. My chancellor is reading my family epic. A lot of it is not very plausible, such as the part with the hewing of the mountains. On the other hand, who is to say what the past was like? If you're already doing embellishments, why not take it as far as we can? No, it should be relatively as true to life as possible. On completion, the artifact will improve personal scheme success chance. I am ensuring that this artifact will keep my family safe. At last, Bernadomat has completed my family epic, and what a glorious chronicle indeed. It has high drama, moral quandaries, and tense duels. Everything my family has been forged from is in there. Even the part with the hewing of the mountains, seemingly so far-fetched, has become a touching moment outlining the destiny of my house. I'm not going to begin to try and say that, but what it does is it gives prestige, hostile scheme resistance, and scheme success chance, which of course I currently hold. And it might be the greatest chronicle ever written. We gain 75 prestige, and the Barcelona dynasty gains 75 renown. I can't be happier. Well done, Bernat. Very proud. After all the time Bernat has spent in my court and how well he's gotten to know me, it feels strange he's about to depart. I do have other places to go, and other stories that need telling, he tries to explain. Then I suppose this is goodbye. It's unfortunate when family turns against you, but Radofradis has shown that he's not the typical family member. He wants to lower crown authority, although he's not contributing much, if I'm being completely honest. Thankfully, I outnumber him close to 8-1. It's not something he could ever hope to fabricate. And the rest of my vassals actually quite fairly like me. The odds of him gaining support are little to none, but it's still a bit disappointing. Very disappointed that he believes he is in the right. Something we might have to deal with here very, very soon. But that's enough court intrigue for today. We have gold. The peace with Saracusta is over with. The claims on Sardinia are about to be complete. My army is ready. My vassals are ready. My allies are perhaps ready. Do I have one last war in me? One last attempt to see my kingdom expanded before I die? I guess we'll have to see. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be the end of the episode for DUKE Guifré The Second. Not too shabby of an episode, if I do say so myself, and I am still very thoroughly enjoying this. We'll see how far DUKE Guifré can go before he finally croaks, but we made it through. He's still alive, so that's the important part. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by engaging that YouTube algorithm, by giving the video a like, hitting the subscribe button, and turning on bell notifications. We will be back on Thursday. We will undoubtedly be back for another episode, so hang around. I'm excited to see where this goes. Thank you once again, everyone. See you in the next one.
Iberia, ravaged by the bloody tides of 4 kings and sultans, dukes and emirs. Adversity makes for strange bedfellows, my friend. And you must tread carefully if you are to decide the fate of Iberia.